Fox 5 Health News. The hottest new seasoning is inspired by bagels, and it's used on, well, everything. It's so popular, stores say it is flying off the shelves.
Joining us now is nutritionist Shari Bookvar. This is a very interesting thing. I actually have this.
So do we,
and
yeah.
It's very helpful.
I think almost everybody has this now, the Everything Bagel seasoning. There's a major retailer that sells it, as well as some of the local delis actually make it themselves and sell it to their customers. So it's actually a great product to use. It's wonderful for flavoring anything on vegetables to eggs, baked products. The only thing you have to be careful with is if you were to look at, and we'll use the major retailer, if you look at their serving size, it's a quarter of a teaspoon. So that's what this is, and it's not much.
No.
Now, it says 5 calories, no fat, and 80 milligrams of sodium, which really isn't bad. However, a teaspoon is a little bit more, a full teaspoon is a little bit more what people would use for a single serving, which would be 20 calories. It could be up to 2 grams of fat, because by the way, if something says 0 fat on a label, it can have up to a half a gram of fat. So we multiply times 4.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay?
Oh, it's what they're allowed
They're
to
by law,
within
if something's,
parameters.
that is correct. You can have 0 fat, but can have up to a half a gram. So that could be up to 2 grams of fat. Still not bad.
Nothing,
but
no.
the sodium at 80 milligrams, you multiply times 4 is 320. So if you're on a sodium restricted diet, or you want to be careful with the salt intake, you have to be careful with the portion. Otherwise, I think it's actually a very nice thing to put onto vegetables or whatever else you're making to
No, it's fantastic. I think like everyone
tasty.
discovered it at the same time and was like, I can't believe this didn't exist until now. Like,
Right, and it's otherwise a pretty clean product. It's sesame seeds, onion, poppy seeds, garlic, and the salt flakes.
I don't really know anybody that takes a spoon and measures it. I just know everyone just sort of
well,
shakes
if you
it.
did it, I've done that at home as an example, and it is about a teaspoon. So just assume you're going with 20 calories, almost 2 grams of fat, and the sodium.
Gotcha.
All right.
But if you're putting on steamed broccoli, which has very low sodium, well, not so bad.
All right, let's talk about this now. If you are on a carb-free diet, you can forget pizza, of course, but a new kind of dough can help curb your cravings. I like this.
Yeah, so this is fathead dough. It's actually been out for a while. It's for people who follow the keto diet, and you'll see it a lot now in recipes on Instagram. But the fathead dough is basically made from some form of a nut flour, such as coconut flour or almond flour. It's typically made with eggs and cheese, so whether that's mozzarella cheese or cream cheese. So it is this fat-loaded type of bread. So if you're following keto and you really need something that is low carb, high fat, but when people are starting to use it as their everyday pizza dough bread, I mean, it could be over 20 grams of fat in a serving, not to mention that a lot of it's coming from saturated fat. You know, when you're following a low-carb, high-fat diet, I would sooner see it coming from healthy fats such as olive oil, nuts and seeds, avocado, absolutely, rather than it coming from cheese and things like that. So it does add up very quickly.
I know a lot of people who like the cauliflower crust.
Yes.
You know.
So the cauliflower crust, whether you're buying it in a store or you're making it yourself, always look at that ingredients. Don't make that assumption that you're basically putting cheese and sauce on a piece of cauliflower. It may have other carbs in it. It could be cassava flour, or it could be a high-fat version. It's similar to what we just discussed with cheese and eggs and things like that. So you have to know what your goals are, why you're having it. Just because it's made from cauliflower does not necessarily mean that you're not taking a cauliflower steak.
That's a great reminder,
using that, using that as your bread.
Right.
So, gotta be careful.
Good deal. Vinny from the Jersey Shore loves that.
What's
He's on
that?
keto diet. Keto, keto, whatever. All right, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, my
I heard you say yes, Sam, when we were talking.